Hello Internet! Now we've had a look at the team that I used to win the Nugget Bridge Invitational. Let's have a little bit of an overview. Let's talk about it a little bit more, and I'll take you through the history of the team as well. So we can see this is still the Invitational team on here. This is how it is right now. I'm very happy with this team. Yeah, the leader of Raichu and Azumarill is something that I'm very proud of, I suppose. But like last year, when I was using a Lipud and Breloom, it gives me a go-to lead, which is something that I think, as a player myself, I need. I mean, everyone that plays Pokemon, you need to know what your own style is. You need to know what you're comfortable with, and even though I'm not going to lead with Raichu and Azumarill all the time, like I didn't lead with Lipud and Breloom all the time, I need to have, in my head, I need to have some go-to leads, basically, and that's the main one of this team. Just something that if I'm not thinking right, I can just be like, right, I know this lead works well, and just go with that, basically, and see how it goes. So that's one thing I like about this team. I've got this go-to lead. Another thing that you might have seen, the running theme through going through each Pokemon individually is I really don't like playing against Talonflame. You probably think I go on about this too much, but I don't like Talonflame at all. So everything on this team can do something to Talonflame. I've got this Raichu that can obviously resist Brave Birds. This is why I started using Raichu, really, and stopped using Lipud. As we will see when we go through the history of this team, I did use Lipud at the beginning of this season. I tried to get it to work, but it just, Talonflame outspeeds it and knocks it out with a Brave Bird straight away. I mean, obviously not all opponents are going to have Talonflame, but it's something that you just can't overlook like that. And that's how I ended up with Raichu instead of Lipud for this season. So I've got Raichu that can, resist the Brave Bird, and it can knock it out with a Thunderbolt as well, basically. I've got a Mungus, which, it can survive some attacks from some Talonflames, but if it does get attacked, it's going to be taking a lot of recoil damage, and especially with the Rocky Helmet as well. Tyranitar, I mean, you can't really get much better against Talonflame than a Tyranitar. I mean, I didn't want to build a team with a Mega Pokemon that is weak to Talonflame. I wanted my Mega Pokemon to be something very, very good against Talonflame, because I didn't want to be worried whenever I saw a Talonflame about taking my Mega. So, I've got my Mega Tyranitar here, which, I mean, you can't get much better against it, basically. Aegislash. It can survive. Hang on, the EV spread has sort of screwed up a bit. I don't know what's going on here. It can survive yeah, that's right, isn't it? It can survive a Flare Blitz from some weaker Talonflame, but if I predict right, then I can King Shield and basically get it a nice -2 drop, and it's definitely not as threatening at that point. Azumarill, after it has used Belly Drum, unless it is banded, can take a Brave Bird from a Talonflame, but usually if I saw a Talonflame I wouldn't tend to Belly Drum anyway, really, but obviously it can take a Brave Bird. It can Aqua Jet it back, which after it takes some recoil, especially if it's Life Orbed, it's got a very good chance of knocking it out. And I've got my own Talonflame, which is Jolly as well, so that, worst case scenario, I'm speed tying with other Talonflame. If they're adamant, then I'm outspeeding them, and I can get my Brave Bird off first, which is very nice. It's a nice feeling. It's nice and comfortable. Yeah. So this is the team. Let's. The showdown's messed up my EVs, it seems, in between videos. But yeah, I think they're all sorted now, aren't they? So yeah, these 4 EVs remaining on Aegislash. I do like my nice, neat, tidy EV spreads, but these 4 EVs are redundant. They won't go anywhere else. Obviously I don't want them in attack, I don't want them in speed, and they don't do anything to any of these other stats. So they're just redundant EVs, really. And with Raichu, you might have noticed I've got the 30 in HP as well. That's just because that's what my in-game is, my in-game Raichu. If it was 31, then hang on, how do we have it? There we go. If it was 31, then basically I could have 4 more EVs here, but because this is 30 as well for the hidden power, it's not going to do anything, and any of these other stats as well, it doesn't add any extra. So this is as efficient as the EV spread can be here as well. So let's have a look at some of the history of this team then. Now this first this Pokémon team might look a little bit strange to some people. We can see that I've got Tyranitar, I've got Talonflame here, Talonflame, Azumarill, and I've got Raichu, so we can see these core of 4 Pokemon I've been using for a long time. I like this core a lot. But this is the first national, the German national, and I was still using Liepard at this point because, you know, it's hard to let go of Liepard when, you know, when you're this close to it as I am. Basically, I wanted to build a team that was as similar to my team that I had last year, really, as possible. And so I've got my Liepard, and I've got Jumpluff here as well. Going into Bochum, going into the tournament, I felt, you know, quite good actually about this team. And the weekend before the German national, there was at the time the biggest Nugget Bridge live tournament, which I actually won with this team. So I was feeling quite good going into it. Basically, instead of Amoonguss and Aegislash as it ended up, I've got Liepard and I've got Jumpluff. So Jumpluff, you know, it does a few of the same things that Amoonguss can do. It can Rage Powder, which is nice. I mean, Giga Drain is, you know, nice obviously for the rock types that you want to be hitting, and it can Sleep Powder as well. But it's not 100% accurate. I have got the wide lens on it, as you can see, which makes it 82% accurate, but as you know, unfortunately, what happened in the actual national, I missed an unlucky, a disproportionate amount of sleep powers that I should be hitting. So you know, this lack of accuracy is one of the things that let me down with this team. You know, actually, this 82% sleep powder is the worst accurate move I have ever used in an official tournament. So you know, 82%, that's a lot lower than they usually like to go. But Infiltrator, very nice, and you can see I've got Swagger on here as well, which works nicely with Liepard. Obviously, I love this Pokemon. Obviously, Foul Play goes on your opponent's attack stat, and these two are, you know, nice fast Pokemon really. You can see the spread on this Jumpluff. It puts it at base at a speed stat of 174, which is 1 speed higher than Liepard. So basically, I could use my 99% accurate Swagger and Foul Play on the same turn, and with the black glasses, as you can see, it one-shots quite a lot of things. Garchomp, +2 Garchomp, it's knocked out by Foul Play. This is before Kangaskhan started getting, you know, really bulky. So it would knock out most Kangaskhan at +2 as well. There's lots of things that will definitely not appreciate a +2 black glasses boosted Foul Play. And you know, if it doesn't knock them out, then there's always a chance that they can hit themselves as well, which which is very nice. I mean, you know, putting the odds in your favour. But yeah, I mean, the problem with this is basically it is too weak to Talonflame. I mean, yeah, I have got these 4 Pokemon that I kept using that are all very good against Talonflame, but these two, whenever I saw a Talonflame on a team preview, even if there was something that I might have liked Jumpluff for, I kind of didn't really, you know, I was more hesitant. I didn't really want to take it because Jumpluff is not as bulky as Amoonguss. It definitely can't take a Brave Bird, even though people do underestimate the bulk of Jumpluff. It is actually quite bulky. It can take quite a few hits. I do like it. It's quite an underrated Pokemon, especially with Infiltrator. You can put things to sleep, or you can confuse things through Safeguard and Aegislash as well. You can put them to sleep through their substitute, or swagger them through their substitute, which is quite nice. So I quite like this duo. Maybe I'll go back to them at some point, and try and work something out with them. But Lipard and Raichu are both on the same team here, so I've got 2 with Fake Out, I've got 2 with Encore, which I think is a little bit too redundant, really, and that was one of the reasons why I don't think this team worked out very well. Another reason this team didn't work out very well is because really there's not many stats. I mean, talking about raw base stat totals, this team is very low on stats, and so I couldn't really switch much. I couldn't take many hits. If I lost momentum, then it was a big problem. Taunt, obviously very nice. Yeah, I mean, going back to the items, there's some strange items on this team. King's Rock, wide lens, black glasses, things that maybe you wouldn't expect. But let's have a little look at some of these old spreads from the familiar faces, because this is Raichu, and this is the one with Fling on it, Fling and King's Rock. So I've still got the maximum speed, as you can see, but this one has got more bulk in it because it didn't have Hidden Power Ice. So there was less things that I needed a special attack for, but it was before the time that I realised, uh-oh, Thunderbolt won't necessarily one-shot a Talonflame. So maybe a bit of an oversight there. So this is like the old Raichu spread. Azumarill, I think this is exactly the same, isn't it? Yeah, I've been using this same Azumarill spread for a long time. The same amount of speed, the same everything as the other ones. This Talonflame, like I mentioned in the Talonflame video earlier, this was before I used Protect on Talonflame. Talonflame is absolutely vital for this team, and I didn't have Protect on it. I actually used Band here, which, looking back, is probably wasn't the best of choices, but we can see that it is Jolly. I mean, I've been using Jolly all along, but yeah, Talonflame is vital, so I couldn't switch it out. I mean, nothing in this team really appreciates switching into anything, and Talonflame without Protect, as vital as it is, it didn't really work out too well. And this Tyranitar, as I mentioned earlier in the Tyranitar video as well, this is the bulkier one, so I've still got my max speed and my 12 in special defense, but I've got a lot more in HP, and I've got a bit more in defense as well. And you can see this attack stat is actually really low. If I actually change that to Mega Tyranitar, then it'll get rid of all my stats, won't it? So I won't do that. But we can see, where are my stats? Here they are. But we can see that it won't be one-shotting Aegislash or Rotom Heat with a +1 with this kind of attack investment, which is kind of an oversight. But the thing that this spread can do is it can survive 2 Earthquakes from a Garchomp, and that was basically how this spread was made. But yeah, the German national didn't really go too well for me. Like I top cut all of the nationals in Europe last year, so I'd never gone into a national and not top cut it. So I was not best pleased to not top cut. I can't remember what my actual final record was, my Swiss record. I can't remember how many rounds we did. I think it might have been 5-3 or something like that. 5-4 if we did 9 rounds. I think we did 8 rounds of 5-3, but it was disappointing. But that was my own doing as well, in a way. My first game in that tournament, I was playing one of the German guys that played at Worlds last year, and I literally had the game. I had a 100% if you do this you win the game move, and I just didn't do it. Like, I don't know what happened there, and that one turn has just stuck with me. Like, what a nightmare. Basically, I didn't Rage Powder when I should have, and my Sleep Powder missed. and I lost the game because of it. And then the second game, I was playing someone who apparently had been told all of the details of my team, so I knew something was a bit fishy when he was making all of these very strange moves that were actually working out for him. So I actually ended up starting that tournament with an 0-2 record, and I went on to play on the bottom table of the whole national against one of my friends, which was quite interesting, quite an interesting experience. But I went on and won, some more games after that. But yeah, so the German national didn't go too well for me. So I thought, right, I've got to take things a little bit more seriously. And Manchester was the next national, and we can see this is a bit more like it. Here's my 4, my Raichu, Azumarill, Tyranitar, Talonflame. Jumpluff went out in favour of Amoonguss, which you can see is exactly the same Amoonguss that I did the video about. This Amoonguss hasn't changed from here. So, no Jumpluff, I've got Amoonguss, and because I haven't got Jumpluff, I don't want Lipid either. So, I've used Gengar, which I thought was a good idea at the time. I needed something to hit Aegislash with. I needed something that was quite good against Garchomp. So with Levitate, obviously, I can avoid the earthquakes. I can burn Kangaskhan, which was a bit of a problem as well. And I didn't use Focus Sash because I have got my Tyranitar here with the Sandstream. So Focus Sash would be a bit silly on it. So I've actually got the Gengar Mega Stone. So I've got the option with Raichu to, the old classic lead of Raichu and Gengar, and basically Mega Evolve with Gengar, and Encore a move and disable them while they're trapped in with Shadow Tag as well. So that works very nice in theory. It gives the team a second mode in a way, but throughout the Manchester National, I used Gengar in only one game. I didn't use it at all through the Swiss rounds. So I think, I knew at that point that Gengar's usefulness wasn't actually, too great. It did make the team a bit more Talonflame weak as well, but I actually didn't play any Talonflame in the Swiss rounds in Manchester, which, I quite appreciated. Maybe things would have gone a bit differently if I had. But yeah, I actually, this team, I felt good with it going into the Manchester tournament. You can see it's a bit more standard, it's a bit more serious than the German, than the Bochum team. And there was 8 rounds in Manchester, and I went, I won the first 7 games. I went 7-0, and then I played Jamie, my friend Jamie, in the last round, and he beat me in that game. And I wasn't too bothered about that. It was a winnable game. It was a close game. He had some things that were awkward for this team, like Staraptor. So I went through Swiss in 2nd position. So I felt great going into the next day. Let's just have a quick look over these spreads. I think they're probably the same from Bochum. This Raichu's the same. This Azumarill's definitely the same. Tyranitar's the same. Talonflame, we're still jolly, but we can see I've gone to Life Orb now, and I've actually put Tailwind on this Talonflame. So yeah, it doesn't have Protect on it, which again was a bit of an oversight. But I think I was probably too worried about opponent Talonflames using Tailwind themselves, because if they get a Tailwind up, if they've got like a Kangaskhan and a Talonflame and they use Tailwind, then I'm quite in a bad position. So I wanted Tailwind just in case they used Tailwind as well. I think that was the thinking behind it, but I mean Protect would have been better. Gengar, obviously, I mean there's nothing flashy about this spread, is there? I think I did toy with putting Bulk in it to survive a Brave Bird, but in the end I just went with this, obviously. And the Amoonguss is the same that we've seen. So yeah, going into the second day, the knockout rounds of the Manchester tournament, I played, I saw that I was playing someone called Kelly, and I thought, well, I'm going to be playing a girl, so So I mean, I felt, you know, quite confident, but I was a little bit worried because it was actually a girl that knocked me out of the top cut in the UK National last year. So you know, there was no way I'd be taking, you know, anyone easy. But it turns out that it was a Canadian guy that I'd be playing in the top 32 because they increased the top cut to a top 32. Which unfortunately didn't go in my favour because I would have top cut with a 16 anyway, and I ended up losing my top 32 game. I was not happy at all, as you can imagine. Yeah, this Raichu still got fling, we can see. Basically, what happened was he had a Scarfed Garchomp, which surprised me. In the first game, I think I pretty much remember the first game. I led with Raichu and Azumarill. He led with Rotom Heat and Garchomp. I used Fake Out on his Garchomp and Belly Drum with Azumarill, thinking that even if he does burn my Azumarill, I can still knock out, I can still one-shot his Rotom with a burnt +6 Aqua Jet. And I just went from there, but I got the Belly Drum up, and basically the next turn he revealed himself to have a Scarf and knocked out my Raichu. And because Raichu got knocked out, he could just Thunderbolt my Azumarill, and that went down the same turn. So yeah, the first game didn't go well for me. The second game, because I knew it was a Scarfed Garchomp, I actually took my Gengar, which made him think twice about using Earthquake, and I could burn it as well because I knew it wouldn't have the Lumberry. And it went better for me. I think the second game was a pretty easy, a pretty solid win for me. And the third game, he went back to his original leads. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I ended up losing the game, unfortunately, because I seem to remember I had my Mega Tyranitar at +1, and his Mega Venusaur avoided my Rock Slide, which would have put it in Brave Bird range for Talonflame the next turn. And so because it got that, because it avoided that Rock Slide, that let him play differently, and it let him win the game. I did make one bad. I say bad. I mean, it was the safe play to make, but I knew at the time I should have predicted it. Basically, I made a bad move, and I ended up losing that game. So I was very annoyed. I mean, it turns out that Kelly is actually a really nice guy, and you know, we made friends at Worlds and everything, so that was all right. But I knew that basically to get my invite, I had to do well in Milan, and so here's my Milan team. So we can see here is the Garchomp. I needed something in the Gengar spot that could resist Rock, because I didn't have any Rock resists with Gengar there. I wanted something that was quite good against Talonflame as well, and again I wanted something that was quite good against Kangaskhan and other Garchomp, which, yeah, I'm speed tying with other Garchomp with this one, but you know, it was somewhat of an answer. Mawile in Rain was getting quite popular as well, so I thought Garchomp could have been a nice choice. I've got Swords Dance on this one, and we can see that it is it's actually got a bit of bulk in it. I mean, I really don't like Garchomp, so I probably shouldn't have used it. I can't remember exactly what this spread was supposed to do. I'm sure it did something at +2 with a Swords Dance or something, but I can't really remember. And the Milan tournament went absolutely horrendously for me. Like, I still don't know what happened. I didn't feel great, like health-wise on the day. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but I lost some games that day that I absolutely shouldn't have, and it just went, you know, from bad to worse, really. I lost my first game again, which was actually against Matteo, a former World Championship finalist, so that was a lovely first round pairing, and yeah, it just went downhill. I think my final, because we did play 9 Swiss rounds, my final record was 5-4, which is absolutely embarrassing. Worst tournament I've ever been in. And yeah, let's not think about that too much more. So I think everything was pretty much the same. This is the same Raichu spread, this is the same Azumarill spread, it's the same Tyranitar spread, still bulky. same Talonflame spread. Yeah, I don't have Protect on there yet, and it's the same Amoonguss spread, just with the Garchomp on there. So yeah, the Milan tournament didn't go very well for me. So let's let's not talk about that any longer, and let's go back to the team as it is now. So I'm very happy with this team. I mean, you've got to do everything you possibly can to put things in your favour, and you know, one thing that people overlook is actually the team preview. And so the order, like, I'm very specific with my orders, yeah, obviously because I want the team to look nice, don't I? But also on a psychological sort of point of view, because if I put Raichu and Azumarill next to each other, then anyone looking at that team preview can see, oh, those are probably a lead, and they will work quite well together. So what I like to do is, I mean, maybe I think about this a bit too much, but you know, I think there's something into it. There's something in it. Things that work well together, apart from sort of Amoonguss and Tyranitar, I guess. But on the team preview on the DS, as you look at it, Amoonguss will be up here and Tyranitar down here. Will be down there on the next row. They won't necessarily suspect that they will lead together. So you can see I've got Raichu and Azumarill quite far apart from each other. Just so that it doesn't, or there's a chance that it doesn't twig in their head that those two are going to be used together. You know, little things like that. I mean, as well as these nice spreads as well. I mean, I like this spread. You've got to use all of your EVs nice and efficiently as well. Yeah, so I was quite happy going into the Nugget Bridge Invitational. Obviously, you can see the videos of the games on this channel as well. I uploaded a couple of weeks ago now, and so after winning that, I felt like I had you know, a good chance going into the World's Last Chance qualifier as well, because my terrible performance in Milan actually meant that I didn't get my invite, which absolutely crushing. Like, seriously, you can't imagine from going like 9th in the world one year to not even getting an invite the next year, when getting an invite last year just seemed so easy. Oh, you know, absolutely gutting, really gutting. But you know, picked myself up, had to go through the LCQ. I felt quite good going into it. My first game in the LCQ was actually against the United States national champion's brother, so I was a bit wary. He said that like, he wasn't as good at the game and everything, but I knew that he would know what he was doing, and he won the first game 4-0, and obviously it's best of 3 in the LCQ. So I was a little bit worried. I won the second game, and the third game was actually close, and Tyranitar pulled me out with a couple of flinches, so I was relieved. I mean, I wouldn't have appreciated you know, travelling all that way over there. Not that the LCQ was the number one reason that I travelled over there, but I wouldn't have appreciated going out in the first round. Then I'm sure I played some more people. I can't remember exactly what I played. I played a Japanese guy that had a Hyper Beam Sylveon and Safety Goggles Lucario, which was very interesting. I won the first game of that quite convincingly, but then he won the second game when he revealed his goggles, and I just won the third game as well. Actually, I dominated that third game, so you know, I was quite relieved to get through that. But then as I went on in the tournament, I played one of the Japanese people who played at Worlds last year. I can't remember his name. He was a very happy guy. He was like smiling all the time. But I won the first game against him. He won the second game against me, and the third game, what happened basically was, I knew at that time I needed to belly drum with Azumarill. I knew his Talonflame was going to go for Tailwind because he'd used that to win in the second game. I needed to belly drum on that turn because I knew it wasn't banded, this Talonflame. I knew it could survive a Brave Bird. And then even in Tailwind I would have swept through his team with my Azumarill. but I didn't. I was overly paranoid of a Brave Bird Earth Power combination from his Hydreigon that was out to knock out my Azumarill, and I just protected it instead of going for a Belly Drum. He did fire the Earth Power onto my Azumarill, but I didn't use the Belly Drum. So, you know, oh well, it happened, and I lost that game. So, you know, I played a few games over there as well. On the Sunday, I played in one side tournament, which actually had a couple of other friends in there, a couple of other world competitors, and I won that little tournament. So, you know, I restored a little bit of pride. So, you know, it wasn't all bad, but yeah, I was quite sad to go out of the LCQ. I'm sure I would have, you know, had a decent record at Worlds if I'd have got in, but it wasn't to be, because I mean, this is yeah, this is my team. I love this team. I'm definitely one of the people that work at one team. I stick to one team and work on it, and that just means that I'm so comfortable with it, and I know exactly what to do against other teams. I know how to play it, basically. I don't like sort of swapping teams. I know my style, so you know, this team, even though I didn't do as well, you know, anywhere near as well as I did last year, this team is still, you know, quite close to my heart, I suppose. I do like it, and winning the Invitational, the Nugget Bridge Invitational, you know, was kind of the as good as I could have hoped for, I suppose, after the Nationals performances, and to see other people using this team, you know, is quite nice, really. You know, it's nice to have some kind of influence on the game, and to see people using teams, or this team that I've created, it's you know, it's quite nice. It's a bit of an honour, I suppose. But there we go. So I mean, like, we've had a good detailed look. I've probably rambled on quite a lot about this, haven't I? We've had a detailed look at all these Pokemon in their own individual videos, and we've had a look at the history of the team as well. So unfortunately, Lipard, it wasn't your year, like it was last year. The existence of Talonflame just oppresses Lipard too much. It's just knocked out by a Brave Bird. I'm really not a fan of Focus Sash on Lipard. It's, you know, I mean, it wouldn't work with Tyranitar anyway, but it misses out on lots of knockouts without the black glasses as well. But yeah, I mean, Lipard is still a good Pokemon. It still has a place, but maybe next year will be your year again, Lipard. But so there we go. So here's the team, my good old Invitational team. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. You know, now you've got the spreads, you can have a go with this team if you like. It's pretty fun to use. I think it's actually quite hard to just sort of pick up and use. So I mean, don't expect to win with it straight away. No, it needs a bit of getting used to use well, I think. But I mean, have fun with it. I mean, you know, go for it by all means. Thanks for watching these videos again, and you know, bye for now.